Now, today's class is going to be about getting set up with our campaigns inside of our KW command. So right now I'm on the login screen, and if we type in our KW username and password, we should be able to sign in here and enter our KW command system. Now, as this loads up right here, before we jump into getting our campaigns ready to send out, we're going to want to make sure that we have all of our settings set up so we can effectively send these marketing materials out. So first, we're going to go ahead and click on our name on the top right-hand corner and make our way all the way down to settings right here. Should be right below profile. And once we give that a click, we should see this settings page right here. And if we scroll down, you should see two options for your Facebook as well as two options for your Twitter. They may be separated. Here's one option for your Twitter, and here is the second option. Now, when we look at these Facebook and Twitter connections here, you'll see that they have different wording in these parentheses or in these quotations here. We have Facebook post scheduling as well as Facebook ads manager. We're going to want to go ahead and connect both of these because they do serve two different functions. Your Facebook post scheduling is going to allow you to spend a day and create a number of different marketing material pieces and schedule them out to post on your Facebook business page to look like you're always posting online. If you ever wonder how big businesses are always able to stay on social media and post every hour, chances are they have something similar to a post scheduling where they just spend a day creating that marketing material, scheduling them out throughout the week, and not having to worry about it. Your Facebook post scheduling is free for you to utilize. So all we'll have to do is go ahead and connect our Facebook page. And I do have some Facebook pages connected right here, but let me go ahead and disconnect so we can kind of see what these look like. So as I disconnected my post scheduling, I'll just scroll down here to where it says social, and you should see that right here. We'll go ahead and give this a click on connect. And since I've already signed in previously, it kind of skipped through that pop-up page, but it may ask you to sign in to your Facebook. And when you sign in, go ahead and use your regular profile that you sign into, because your business page is actually going to be tied to your personal profile. So even though we're connecting our personal profile with our login, that was the screen that skipped through, it will give me the option to choose which business page I want to start utilizing my post scheduling through. So I'm just going to click on Morgan's teaching samples right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on connect. And then it should be connected and pop up right here. Now, your Facebook ads manager right here, this is going to be a way for you to set up a payment method and create ads to target outside leads. So these are individuals who do not know about you and your business quite yet, but are interested in real estate, buying or selling their home. If you set up a payment method and start running ads, this will allow you to collect leads and have them be automatically sent to your command database. So we're just going to want to make sure that that is connected as well. As you see, we have this connected right here. It's connected to my personal Facebook, but if I click down right here, it should give me that option depending on which pages I am a part of. Now, also keep in mind that if you belong to a team, you will need to have, I believe, at least like admin permissions to connect a business page. So if you're the owner, don't worry about it. If you're a solo agent and you have your very own business page, don't worry about it. Technically, you are the owner of that business page. So I'm just going to click on my KW teaching samples again. I'm going to click on OK. And now I can successfully say that my Facebook is connected within my command. Now, very similar to the process that we just went through, if you scroll down here, you will have that for your Twitter as well. Now, full disclosure, I don't typically use Twitter, so I don't have my Twitter connected. But again, it would essentially be that same connect account, and then you'd go through, you'd hit OK, and then it should ask you to connect to your Twitter here. So once we have that connected, we're going to navigate over to our skinny little drop down section right here. We're going to click on Connect Settings and then Marketing Profile. So next, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that we have all of our branded information set up and correct. Now, it may take a moment to oh, there we go. It may take a moment to push that through, but you should be brought to a page that looks very similar to this. And if you join us with a number of different classes, I know we stress on this marketing profile here, but it's just so important to be able to make sure that everything else within your marketing is just kind of set up and updated and correct when it comes to the information that your clients are seeing. So we have our headshot right here. If we scroll down a little bit, if you belong to a team, you can add your team logo right here. And then as well as your information. So if you scroll down right here and you need to update anything like your slogan or your credentials, maybe you had a phone number change or last name change, these are the type of information that you're going to want to update here on your marketing profile. Now, I think all of my information is good enough for our class here today. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Save here. And there's going to be one last section within our marketing profile that we're going to want to draw our attention to. And that's going to be the Use My Information to Brand My Agent Site. Now, this is the magic button that really takes all this information and places it on your marketing material, like your website, your mobile app, as well as some other marketing pieces as well. So we're just going to want to make sure that we have this toggled onto green right here to make sure that this information is indeed branded. I know it says brand my agent site, but truly it's to brand my marketing right here. And if any of you have any questions throughout our training here today, please feel free to use the chat box down below. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you guys may have as we are coming up to those sections. Now, once we have our marketing profile connected and we have our Facebook and Twitter, our social media connected within our settings, it's going to be pretty well into our setting up the rest of our sections here. And in this next section, we're going to do is we're going to create a design, and we're also going to go through our campaigns here. Before we jump into our designs, I kind of want to take us to our campaigns just to see what it kind of looks like and kind of see the similarities between your campaigns page and your designs page. So if we go ahead and click on this red KW square on the top left-hand corner here, it should open up the left-hand titles to all the different pages that are inside of KW Command. If we take a look at our designs right here, this would be how we create these different marketing pieces here. And if we go up to campaigns, this is how we send that marketing material out. So I kind of like to look at this as step one and step two right here. So step one is creating the design. Step two is sending that design out. Before we actually create that design, let's go ahead and take a look at our campaigns here. Now, within our campaigns page, it's organized into our different types of marketing content. So if we focus our attention to the top section here, here's our campaigns title. This is just letting us know that we are indeed on the campaigns page. But if we follow our cursor along to the right here, you'll see that we have dashboard, our paid ads, our emails, our direct mail, and our social posts. These are going to be where your different campaigns live. So, for example, if you are sending out any kind of paid ads, we'll go ahead and give this a click right here. And this is going to be where all of your paid ads are going to live. We also have our emails, direct mail, and social posts. Emails and direct mail are going to look very similar to our paid ads right here. We have, as you see, it gives us this drop down right here, as well as direct mail. Oh, it looks like I don't have any. I think I have some drafts, though. I don't have any drafts. The only one that's going to look a little bit different is going to be our social post right here, which is going to look more like a calendar view. And if we give this a click right here, this is what I kind of mean, where here you have a calendar view of the different social posts that are scheduled to go out on different days right here. So if I click on week right here, you should be able to toggle between a week view or a month view within your calendar. And here we're kind of able to see what social posts are going out. So if I were to toggle up, we're in May right now, and full disclosure, I have not sent any social posts out just yet. So let me back out to a couple months here, and let's see if we can find any social posts for previous months. There we go. So here is what a social post would look like if we were to schedule one. And we can give it a click right here. And it should open up to what that social post looks like and some additional information like which channel. There's only one channel, which means it was only on my Facebook page. And the date and time that it was posted as well. How many thumbs up we got, how many comments, and how many shares. Now, I'm going to show us how to create all of these as well, so don't worry about that. I also just want to show us a couple other sections that I skipped over when it comes to the paid ads, emails, and direct mail. So within these three sections, you also have a top section right here. So this top half right here just indicates, again, where you're at. So you're on the paid ads section, but it also lets you know how many paid ads were submitted within the last 30 days. Of course, you can toggle this as well to the past 7, year to date, month to date, or the entire longevity of when you joined Command and started creating these ads. But what else is cool is that shows you the impressions, leads, and amount spent in total, or again, depending on how you toggle it. So here you can actually see which posts and which weeks were running a little bit better than others, and what weeks and months may be a little bit slower. So pretty cool to be able to have that statistical information right up top here. And again, if I were to go to emails right here, you'll see the same sort of information, only it's a little bit more tailored towards the email section. How many people received your emails? How many opened it? And how many clicked on the content that was on your emails? We have direct mail as well. And again, that's the same thing. How many received it? How many leads came through? And how much was spent? So Now that we can kind of orient ourselves to the campaigns a little bit easier here, let's go ahead and create a few pieces of marketing to add to these sections right here. So I think first, the most prevalent is going to be a social media campaign, right? Or a social media post. And then the second, I think, would probably be email. Let's go ahead and navigate those here today. And we can do so by, again, clicking on the red KW square. And then we're going to navigate to our designs here. So now that we know what types of campaigns we can run, we can click on Create Design right here, and you'll see that it shows very similar sections. We have an email section, we have a social media section, and we have a print section. So again, they go kind of hand in hand when it comes to kind of creating and placing into your campaigns here. I think first, what we should do is we should probably create a social post, and it's very easy to do so. There's a number of different ways that we can go about creating these social posts. So let's actually explore what we have to offer here. So we have social. I'm going to go ahead and give this a click. You do have this checkbox down below here, and in this checkbox, it says import photos and text from a listing. So kind of cool option here. If you already know that you're going to be promoting a listing, we can give this checkbox a click here and then click on continue, and it should pop open this left hand side right here that gives us the option to search for a listing. Now, I didn't type in any property address, so nothing kind of shows up here to begin with. But we are going to want to make sure that we go to all listings right here. And then if we go ahead and type in, I'm just going to type in 123. Oh, let's go ahead and refresh this here for a second. We'll try that one more time. We'll create a social design, import photo from listing. Well, typically what you'd be able to do in this certain circumstance right here is you'd be able to pull a specific listing into you creating a social media design. So once you actually select a design, it should give you all of the listing pictures, the listing information. So you don't really have to uh, do dual data entry. It'll just pull that information straight from the MLS and allow you to be able to utilize it that way. Since it is giving us a little bit of an issue here today, just check back a little bit later. This should just be a very temporary issue, but let's go ahead and just click on social and continue here, and it should bring us over to our editor templates. So right here, we are taken to kw.webrand.com. So everything on the left-hand side is going to be editable templates that we can choose when it comes to our social media. So remember, we chose social media first. We're going to go ahead and scroll through these drop downs to see what kind of social posts that would suit us a little bit. We can have listing right here. And look, even within that one drop down, you have all of these different options right here. We can choose for sale. And if you have a listing that you want to promote, you can click on for sale. You can find a template that you like, and then there should be a use button if you hover over that image on the top right here. Once you find a template that you really like and click use, it'll jump you into your editable page where you can reconfigure all of this information to suit your listing and your branded info. Now, you also have a few options up top here. You have social wide, social square, and social stories. Now, this should allow you to be able to change the shape and sizing of these templates right here, depending on which social media platform you're thinking about posting this to. So Social wide right here is going to give you that rectangle kind of view. So here it shows you all of the templates in the for sales section that is all rectangle. So you can use these, or if you like the square look a little bit more, we can go ahead and give that a click there, and it should reconvert these for you. And then last but not least, you do have those social stories, which is a little bit longer, but still it takes up more real estate when it comes to the individual scrolling on their Facebook page. So kind of stands out a little bit more for you. So you have these options here for you. Let's go ahead and move onward to the left-hand side here, and let's take a look at some other sections here too. So you have buyers. So just like your listing, you have your Keller Mortgage and Neighborhood Snaps. This is one of my favorite sections right here, your Neighborhood Snaps. And I think that really, aside from, say, a client testimonial, a neighborhood snap is going to be a great monthly post that you can really add to your arsenal here to enhance your social media presence. So I think I'm gonna choose one of these here. Let me show you one more thing. You have your lead generation, and I think your lead generation has your client testimonials as well. And again, look how easy this is right here. If your clients ever leave you a client testimonial, you can come over here, click on lead generation, client testimonial, and you have all of these cool templates to choose from to post on your social media to really showcase that testimonial even further. So I like that neighborhood snap. Let's go back here and let's use this as our social media post. Now, I'm kind of old school, so I like that social wide. And it even kind of tells you a little bit information right here. It says leverage the social wide format for use on Twitter, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn ads. And then it also gives you a description on what that pixel size and the aspect ratio is going to be. So I'm going to use, let's say this one down here at the very bottom. I like the way this design looks. So I'm just going to click on use right here. And here you should be able to have this this template populate into an editable format for you. So really cool. So will your next move be to Barton Hills? Well, let's go ahead and let's make this a little bit more personal here. Since I'm currently located in Oregon here, I'm going to say, will your next move be to Oregon? Now, when it comes to your neighborhood snapshots, keep in mind that it is not as broad as an entire state. We will have to select a specific neighborhood when it comes to showcasing that on this piece of marketing content right here. So, so it may be a little bit more realistic to write, let's say, Eugene. Will your next move be to Eugene? So now I can go over here. I have 3 more pieces of content, big chunks of content that I can edit. Let's go ahead and click on this piece of content that has the data. Once I give this a click right here, again, you should see these blue lines. And since this is a marketing snapshot, we can go ahead and we can follow this all along to the left-hand side right here. And on your button, we'll give that a click and you should see listing and snapshot. So again, if you ever want to showcase any listings on your designs, you can do that here. But we're going to actually click on snapshot right here. And then I'm just going to type in Eugene. Now, Eugene is quite a large city, so so it may not showcase quite yeah, quite as central. So we have Southeast Eugene, Southwest Eugene, Western Eugene. So I have quite a bit of different Eugenes to choose from. So let's go ahead and choose the Western Eugene. Once I give this a click, it should open up a drop down for me to choose a few different pieces of content here, depending on what I want to swap out. Since this information is what I want to swap out here, I'm just going to look for that identical piece, and I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag this over top of that template. And what it should do is it should load up and auto-populate that information, as you see right here. And it will show you that average square footage, average days on market, total pending, and total active right here. Now, we do have the section right here that says average sold price NA. If I were to click on a different one of these that may have that statistical information, you may see that being presented right down there as well. So again, if I were to choose, say, Southeast Eugene, it should have that average sold price because it does have that statistical information. So one last thing that I would do right here is I would probably try to find a picture that looks similar to Southeast Eugene, because that's what we're showcasing right here. So I would just technically go to Google, search for a Google image, and place it in there, or go outside, take a picture if this is a location that I'm from, and then place it right up top here. And again, you have this really nice looking piece of marketing content. So I would just relabel this on the top right hand corner here. Southeast Eugene design. And then I'm going to download it. I personally like to download my pieces of marketing content just so I know what they look like. Of course, you can always just save it as well. And you should see that pop up right there, Southeast Eugene Designs, and we have this piece of marketing content. Now, I didn't change my DBA name, and each office is independently owned and operated. We do have a more in-depth design class for you guys, so just keep a lookout for that, and you should get all the bells and whistles of our designs here. So I'm just going to save this here. And I'm going to back out. Back out one more time. There we go. So now that I've saved my design, my social design, you'll see that we have it right here. So right here we have a neighborhood snapshot that's ready to go out on social media. But let's go ahead and create one more design for our email newsletter as well. So we can do the same thing by clicking on Create Design right here. And again, we are inside of our designs, third from the bottom. And we're going to choose email. We'll click on email right here. And I'm not sure if you noticed this, but recently we got an update where it should start to show you images of what these templates look like. So instead of guessing like we used to before, we can actually see what these look like right here. So again, we have a number of different KW templates that you can choose between. I think we have up to 72. Yep, we have 72 different templates that you can choose between. However, we also have a couple different options as well. You can create a newsletter from scratch, or you could even import a newsletter if you have that HTML code right here. So one last option that we have is we can import, say, if you were to export an email from command, one of your team members created a really amazing email newsletter that they would like to share with the rest of the team. They can export, and your team members can go over here to this import file, and they can drag and drop their file, and it should show up just like how the other team members' email template looks like. Now, I'm going to actually choose a KWRI template. So I'm just going to choose let's see here, virtual home tours. Oh, let's just do a modern newsletter A. So we just go ahead and give it a click, and then down at the bottom right, we have our next button. And within our Next page, we have the left-hand side is going to be our email, and the right-hand side is going to be all these different tools that we can add to our email template right here. So first things first, let's kind of draw our attention to these broken images and market center name right here. You'll also see this down here below as well. So agent first name, agent last name, as well as this broken link. Fear not, this is just the editable side, okay? So if we were to click on this eyeball, if you guys see that, if we click on this eyeball right here, it should give you a live view on what this email looks like. So you can actually see the branded information, and this actually draws from your marketing profile right here. So this is a great indication of that marketing profile information at work. It took my headshot, it took my information, and so now I don't have to go back and re-add this every single time I'm creating a new email. So one last thing that when you finish your email template up, you do have one other kind of final proof, and that's the options button on the top right hand corner here. You have a preview, which is very much the eyeball that I showed you, but you also have your send test email. So I can actually send this as a test to any email address that I want to, as long as it is active. So you do have this option to send a test email to yourself or to another member, and see what it looks like being on the receiving end. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but you also have your download template in this options as well. So here you're going to be able to download if you really like your email and share it to other individuals. Now, again, I do believe that we have a kind of more in-depth designs class that kind of goes through setting up our email templates, but I do kind of want to draw two of our content blocks over here just to kind of reflect what our social media content looks like. So I'm not going to edit any of this text too much, but I am going to draw over a, let's see right here. Maybe a market snap is what I'm going to draw over. And wherever you see this green line is where your content is going to be placed. So now I have an option to add neighborhood trends. And then if I wanted to, I could add a video or a specific listing to showcase in this neighborhood. Once you have this content block right here, I'm just going to click on it so it's highlighted, and then click on this pencil. And that should tell you neighborhood trends right here. So, oh gosh, I'm not quite sure what that zip code was. So I'm not quite sure. I don't think I quite got. I got North Springfield. I didn't get Southeast Eugene, but bear with me and pretend that this is the correct postal code. What we can do right here is once we type in our postal code and our correct location, let's see if that works. Yeah, I don't quite have it, but we'll use East Springfield as that example. Once I hit done right here, it should auto pull that information as well as that map view. So I can send a market snap social post out, and I can send a neighborhood trends email out as well with that same statistical information. So now you're hitting from the left and from the right hand side. And also keep in mind that we are recording this training here today. So once it's done processing, you should be able to find it again on your on our YouTube page. So keep in mind, if you missed any of this content, just know that that we do have this recording on the back end here for you, and it should be available shortly. So I'm going to put East Springfield. Put East Springfield right here, just so I know what kind of content it is. And there we go. And then I'm going to X out here. And then I should have that East Springfield. So I got Southeast Eugene and East Springfield. For those of you, these locations are very close to each other. So we were close, but not quite. Now let's go ahead. Now that we have our two pieces of marketing content, let's go ahead and place them in these campaigns here and start to send them out to our clients. We're going to go ahead and click on the red KW square again. And now we're going to go back to campaigns. So for those of you who are following along, first initial setup is getting your Facebook and your marketing profile set up and connected. Once you get those set up and connected, you won't really have to do that every time. They're pretty much set up and good to go, unless you want to make any edits or adjustments. For future, you just come in, you go to designs first, and then you go to your campaigns to send it out. Now that we're here, your campaign's dashboard right here, I kind of forgot to mention this. This kind of gives you little snippets into kind of what's going on. So right here, it shows you what kind of channels are connected. Since I don't have Twitter or Google AdWords connected, they're grayed out, but it does show that I do have my Facebook as well as my email connected. So I am able to send out social through Facebook and email. On the right hand side right here, it also shows me what kind of accounts are connected. So the accounts are going to be a little bit more specific. So what Facebook account is connected to my command right now? If I scroll down, what email is connected to my command right now? And this is for the paid ads side. If we go over to the social post side right here, it'll show me which Facebook page is connected. Now, of course, we can always edit, change, and manage this by clicking on this gear icon. What this will do is this will bring us back to our settings right down here so we can make any adjustments just like we did at the very beginning. If I scroll down right here, we have something called Quick Post, which is pretty cool. I kind of want to show you this on the actual social post page, but think of this as if you just really want to create some content and push it out, you don't quite have time to create it yourself. You have the ability to just click this share button next to these posts right here, and it'll just auto populate like a post for you to send out really quick. You can make any kind of adjustments that you want, but all you have to do is schedule that post out, and then you're pretty much good to go. And then down below here at the very bottom, you do have tips and training. So if you wanted some extra advice or information on your campaigns, you do have this available here for you. You also have a toggle button that shows you advanced tips if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced. So let's go ahead and create a campaign here on the top right-hand corner. We're going to create a social post right here. This is our free social post that we can create. We're going to give that a click. And what it does is on the right-hand side, it splits it into, this is going to be your actual post. And then the left-hand side is going to be all the editable options that you have that you can apply onto your social post right here. So first things first, I usually like to preview my post. I like to click this drop down and just make sure that I am indeed on the correct Facebook page. And then right here, your text is really going to show up at your very top here. So whatever you want to showcase to your internal circle, right? This is going to be your individuals who have already liked your Facebook page, who are already connected with you. So maybe you wanted to send out a for sale, right? Oh, actually, sorry. What am I doing here? We actually made a market snapshot. So let's actually use that. So check out the market in Southeast Eugene. So as you see, as I'm typing this out, it's starting to type out on the right-hand side. I can also, since this is social media, it may be a little bit more eye-catching to add emojis and things like that. So you do have that option on the bottom right-hand corner here, right above your text limit. So you have this, a smiley face. If I give this a click right here, I can search for any kind of smiley faces I'm looking for. So maybe house. We do house, and then let me do market. There we go. Let's see, exclamation point. And then and let's see if we can get a graph in here. There we go, on the rise. So we have a few emojis right here, and it just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. As we scroll down right here, we have three options for our content. We have our images, we have our video, and we have a link. So if you have a link to somewhere or a YouTube video, something like that, you could drop that link in right there. When we go back to image and video right here, they're going to give you a couple different options. So within image, you can browse from your designs library, or you can upload the image directly from your computer. So since we have downloaded this from our computer, we can choose upload image from our computer, or we can just browse from our design library right here. So we have our Southeast Eugene, and go ahead and give that a click right here, and it should load through. And if it doesn't load through, say by some chance it gives you a small error, we can always go back to upload our image right here from our computer. Now, once you upload your image, it all depends on what kind of shape and size you use. So this is their kind of way of saying what kind of image did you use to begin with, and what sizing should we use for your ad right here. So right here, square is not going to quite work for us. We do have wide, which does work perfectly. But again, if it is also some weird shape, you have a free where you can really adjust it however you see fit right here. I'm going to go back to wide. It's perfect. And then I'm going to hit crop image. And now it's adding that piece of marketing material into our campaign here. So as we're scrolling down, we have a few other options. We have our DBA logo. So again, it is branded. Do you want your DBA logo on the left or the right? So depending on what your content kind of looks like, if we move it over to the left, it kind of blurs that statistical information right here. So we're actually going to keep it over to the right-hand side so it's out of the way. Now, I also did forget to mention that video section here. You can upload a video directly from your computer, and of course, you can use a URL as well. There's one last section right here, which is a neighborhood video, which is super cool. It only takes a few moments to go into your designs, click Create Design, and then Video. And it gives you the ability to add a neighborhood, and it'll pull that statistical information and create a cute 30-second video for you. As we're, let me click on that image again. There we go. As we're scrolling down here, you'll see that you do have the option to add multiple images that should fade through here for you. You do have the option to add up to 4 of those images. Now, down here below, this will really depend on when you want your marketing material to be sent out to your Facebook page. Do you want this to be an immediate post, or do you want to schedule this out at a later date so you can kind of build up your post scheduling and not kind of have to worry about it? So within here, we have schedule post and publish immediate. So if we click on publishing time, when we schedule our post, we can schedule, I think, all the way up to, 1 or 2 hours before our current time. So if it's an hour, if you're going to try and schedule it an hour from now, it may just prompt you to just schedule that post now, as an hour may be too limited to set up for scheduling. So if I want this to go out on Saturday, I can give this a click right here. I'll click Saturday, 10 a.m. That's perfectly fine. And then it'll ask me which channel I want to send this to. Since I only have my teaching samples that I've selected, it's only going to give me that option right there. Now I can schedule the draft, or I can save the draft, or I can schedule it, for a future date. I'm going to schedule it for a future date, just so we can kind of see what that looks like on the actual calendar here. So it says Facebook scheduled for May 14th. If I were to scroll up a little bit, you'll see that we have our scheduled post right here, so we can actually see that. We also can see that on our timeline here as well. So as we are on our social post page, you do have that quick posts that I showed you on your dashboard here. This is a cool way right here to, again, if you wanted to send a quick post out, schedule this out as well. We can do so here. One of which is this video campaigns. And that's exactly what I was talking about, where it creates that cute 30-second video. It gives you that option to do that right here. So let's kind of check this out right here. We'll click share. It'll just ask me for a neighborhood. Let's see if I can type in Southeast Eugene. Perfect. And then when I hit next right here, it auto-populates that information that we saw from that prior post as well. So it pulls all that neighborhood statistical information, but it even also pulls in neighborhood features as well. So within this neighborhood, people are animal advocates, dog lovers, and into gardening. So pretty cool to be able to have that. And then your agent information and your market center brokerage information, again, that will come from your marketing profile. Since we set that up at the very beginning, we won't really have to worry too much about setting that up in the future. We can always check it, make sure that it is correct. But again, that's where that information draws from inside of your settings and your marketing profile. Oh, so looks like there we go. I hit next right here. And then once it takes all that information, it will create this video for us. It may take a few seconds. But again, a really cool way to showcase what a neighborhood statistical stats look like via social media. So as this is loading up right here, we'll give this a few seconds. But all the videos should typically look like this. I don't think you can hear it. I did mute it, but it does have like a background jingle as well for your clients to hear. But it kind of gives you that breakdown. Here's what the latest from around the neighborhood, May 12th. Let me see if I can rewind one more time for us. There we go. And then it shows you basically home on market, average home sale price. So again, you can use this at your disposal. So I'm going to actually save and post that video. It says something went wrong. Please try again in 10 minutes. And again, if it does give me a little bit of error here, that's perfectly fine, because it takes just as quickly to make it inside of your designs and then post schedule it out as well. So not too concerned about that. Let's try one last one over here. Here it says, at KW, we support the whole agent, not just their next transaction. Love this post if you're interested in growing your business, your mind, and your life with Keller Williams. So look, it's already set up right here. If we want to change any of the text, we can do so up top here. Say you wanted a different color heart, you could do that. You want a smiley face, you can add that as well. And if you have different kind of picture that you want to replace this with, you can do so there. So very easy. I'm going to schedule this out again. I'm not even really going to touch this, because if you like the content, this is how quick and simple it should be when you do your quick posts right here. So now I have two social posts that are going out, one on Friday and one on Saturday. So now I'm starting to build out my social posting right here. I'm going to click on create a campaign again, and I'm going to choose email. Now, when we go towards our email campaigns, we will see that we have a campaign name, what our goal type is, and where we're going to run this campaign at. So the campaign name is really just going to be for you to know what you're using this campaign for. So if I were to type in, for example, newsletter, monthly newsletter, right? Oops. We can do monthly newsletter right here. But since I was kind of going towards that neighborhood snap or that snapshot, let's actually put neighborhood snap instead. So now I can send out a monthly snapshot to prospective clients or whoever is interested in the statistical information. If I scroll down here with what's your goal, I'm just gonna let's just do other for the time being, and then right here, we're gonna choose command email because this will allow us to create a number of different lists, as well as send out 5,000 free email sends per month. And of course, you can always upgrade to more emails if you need them. So inside of command email, there's my monthly snapshot. There's that title that I created. Our account right here. This is going to be our email. We can always edit this inside of our settings inside of our name drop down here. So inside of settings, if you scroll all the way down, you should see something that says command email that should allow you to update your information. Now, this is important right here is send to a recipient list. Here we can create a number of different lists that we want depending on the emails and the clients that we have available. So if you wanted to, for example, create a buyer list or a seller's list, a vendor list, a client appreciation list, you can start to create a number of different email lists. So when the time comes, you can select from this drop down, what type of list do I want or do I need right now? Is it my St. Patty's Day email list, or is it my vendors, or is it my monthly newsletter email list? So you can start to create all those email lists depending on what you need to organize them for. And again, really, really stress on tagging out your contacts because this is a great highlight of what contact tags can do for you. So instead of typing in name after name and selecting them, we can just select based off of tag and say, I only want, let's say, my leads. And anybody who comes in who's marked under a lead should pop up here. So again, it all depends on what it is that you want to use these lists for. But really, really, please tag your contacts out and then create your list here. It's going to make your life so much easier. We scroll down here. That send from that same exact location is going to be in that settings, that command email right here. You should be able to find that by scrolling all the way down, and of course, we can manage that right here. Subject line. So now this is when we get into actually what your clients are going to see when it comes to sending email campaigns out. So number 5 and number 6, these are going to be what your clients are going to see right here. The subject line. So this is going to be the title of the email that you send out. So Southeast Eugene snapshot. And then I'm going to select my design right here. And here we're going to be able to, oh, I know we actually did the East Springfield, but we're going to select this one. We're going to pretend it's Southeast Eugene. And when we actually select that email template, it brings us into that email so we can make any final adjustments or changes. Since we're sending this out in a email campaign, maybe it's a monthly email campaign and we need to change the month really quick, or make any final updates or adjustments. Maybe this was last month's neighborhood trends and we need to update to this month's. So it gives you the option, jump right in here. One thing I do stress when it comes to your emails is just know if you edit this right here, you are editing the hard copy. So if you have this same exact email template on a campaign and a smart plan, if you edit it, it will reflect those changes on both. Okay, so you are editing, say, the master copy of this email template. So I'm going to hit save and exit. We won't make any adjustments here because we just made them. And once we hit save and exit, you see again that populate on the right hand side right here. So now again, we can start to send this out to our email list right here. So I typically like to have a test list, which is just myself. So this is my final draft to make sure everything goes through smoothly. And I'll send this to myself, and then I'll be able to view all the buttons, all the alignments, and make sure that everything comes through correctly. So once you're happy with this right here, you can save draft, or you can schedule it out, or you can just send it directly. So I'm going to actually save the draft this time, just because we didn't really fill in too much information on the email template. So I'm going to save and exit right here. And then you should see that start to populate right here in our emails. Now, I know it's top of the hour. There's one last thing that I wanted to draw our attention to, and that's going to be when you set up your paid ads right here. There is one button that I forgot to mention, and that's going to be your payments. It's going to be right next to create campaign. So this is how you set up your payment method to send ads out via your command campaigns. So you will set up a payment method by add payment method right here, add your credit card number, and then you'll add credits right here. And if you don't use all of your credits on a ad, it will pool those remaining credits and put them back into your credit pool here. So never think that you're losing any credits if you pause any ads or if you cancel any ads. We'll just have to wait for the ad time, like the amount of days that you scheduled it to run for. Once that's over, your remaining credits should pool back over here for you. Now, any questions? Do we have any questions at all? Now, I do see a question is how can you show how to add your profile information? And that's going to be on by clicking your name on the top right hand corner. We're going to make our way down to settings right here. And once this loads through, we're going to click on connect settings and then marketing profile right here. So this is going to be all of your profile information that will stick onto, like, say, your email and your design information. Any other questions? All right. Well, again, my name is Morgan Heitzma, Scott Leroy Marketing, and thank you so much for joining me here today. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. And again, this video will be posted on our YouTube page once it's done processing later on here today. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and reach out if you need anything.